What's good? So I got a request on Instagram to show my YouTube setup, like how I make my videos, how I make these vlogs anyway. So like this talking, the studio setup kind of thing. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna go over today. So I'm gonna show you what you look like to me. So let's try that again. I removed all the memory and stuff. I formatted the SD card. Alright, so this is what you guys look like to me. So, boom pole up here, key light there, got my Yongnuo RGB light stick. This thing is so cheap and so great of a light. Please ignore all the mess back there. Like the brightness is really good in the daylight mode and the RGB is awesome. Okay, so next up, I'm using this Feel World monitor. I do have a small HD monitor over there, but I was like, you know what? Feel World, you can do some great stuff. Like, your stuff's cheap and big. What was that? And big. So it's like, and it's because it's got limited functionality, which I don't mind personally, because sometimes you just need a monitor just to see. And that's all you need. You don't need peaking or false color or zebra or waveforms. You just need a bigger screen to like pull focus better or just to see or frame or whatever, right? So Feel World is great for that kind of stuff. And that's the monitor I'm using right now. I do have a small HD. I use it from time to time, but right now I was like, you know what? Let's use the bigger one. So next up, here's a cutie. Just come with a strawberry, thank you. So next up is my Zoom H4n handy recorder. I've had this thing since 2010. Yeah, I've had this thing for years. Like the back plate has come, you can't actually see. Like I've had it so long that the battery cover has actually broken off and I can't find a replacement for it. Like little things like that, just can't find it. Anyway, so I've got that wired all the way. I'm using my tripod case as a counterbalance on this boom pole. And then got my, what is this? The Rode NTG2 shotgun mic, which is a great microphone. Rode, you do some amazing stuff with your microphones. But yeah, like Rode microphones are excellent. Basically every YouTuber recommends them, right? So it's what I use. This NTG2 microphone cost me $300. Singapore dollars. I'll put the UK pounds and US dollars on the screen here for those of you so you can have reference. But yeah, that's kind of a lot for a microphone for me. I mean, I don't like audio is very important. So it's a good thing I did because my audio quality has like skyrocketed ever since I got this. And this boom pole I actually bought in the same store I bought this microphone. It's just like a Rode boom pole. And then this little hand grip thing here, it's just like a metal clamp. And I got that clamp in San Francisco when I went early last year for a business trip with a friend. There's this huge film store. They had everything. They even sold Reds, but they didn't have any Reds in store, which sucked. But they had loads of cameras, every kind of camera gear. And I was like, you know, I need something to hold a boom pole that can go on a light stand. And he was like, I got you, fam. He didn't really say that, but he's like, yeah, I think we have something. And that was like $40. What? And it's great. The only thing about it is like it doesn't articulate or anything. It's just locked onto here. So the only way to get this to go up or down is if you counterbalance it to go up, because since this arm stretches out, it naturally wants to fall down. Hence I had to use the tripod bag to counterbalance it. I'm just gonna ruin my lighting setup a bit so that I can show you guys more of the room properly. Okay, so yeah, that recorder is then sitting on a tripod. This is actually an old tripod that I found in storage. Really happy to have it. This is like my first proper tripod. It's a twisty one. I hate the twisty ones now, but it's an oldie and a goldie, I suppose. Anyway, so back to the monitor. So this is running off a like Sony battery, like those common like NP70 batteries or something. Then that of course is on a magic arm going to my A7S II in a small rig camera cage on a Schachtler SSB6. Great tripod. I bought it for my Red. It holds huge payloads and it's just great. It's got a smooth ball head thingy majiggy. Camera terms, it's like really late, guys. It's like 1 AM when I'm filming this, okay? Anyway, so A7S II, recording all that. Here's the counterbalance that I mentioned before. Okay, next up is this aperture light. I honestly can never remember the names of these lights. I know like the 120D. This is like the Amaran something. I don't know what it is, but it's a great LED light. I have it on 10% power, and it's just giving like a nice little key light. Okay, and then the other light is something I got for Christmas, and I'm so glad that Santa got it for me. Because it's like a great way to test out a product that I've seen good reviews on. This is the Mark 1 of the Yongnuo digital RGB light thingy-majiggy. So this one is the one that you have to put a battery into to make it work. The new one, the Mark 2, it has a rechargeable battery. I went for the Mark 1 because it's like 40 pounds cheaper. 2, because I'd rather have another battery I can just whack into it and then keep going than have to like recharge it. 'Cause I don't think you can charge it and use it at the same time. Which camera do I look at, guys? This one? And the last piece of the puzzle is the Philips Hue. I mean, I also got these for Christmas. These are things I've wanted Philips Hue since they came out years ago, and like finally Santa got it for me. Guys, they're sick. Like, oh my god. But yeah, that's how I make YouTube videos. This is like the studio setup kind of thing. Do I break this down all the time? Sometimes. If I have a job, then yeah, this will all be broken down. Like, I used that for my music video shoot recently. I obviously don't need audio for music video stuff. The recent video I didn't need that tripod. I did bring that light. I brought the light stands as well. A7S I did not bring because I used this big boy here. Let's put that away. That's a really quick tour on my YouTube studio. This has changed quite a few times, and obviously I'm in a different location now. I'm in the UK, in my house now, so it's like, woohoo! This is probably gonna be a more permanent YouTube setup. My desk, however, is subject to change. But just to give you a little insight, it's basically an IKEA kitchen countertop on top of 2 Alex drawers. It's like the typical YouTuber setup kind of thing, but it works really, really well. I've tried out their like wooden planks that they have that you can use as desks. I found that over time they would bend a lot. Like, I had a really long one because I just wanted a long desk. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for all the desk space. So I bought the longest one, and then I bought these like 2 kind of like V-shaped legs that you see like in, I don't know, Western movies. And then on top of that, I put a widescreen monitor, a laptop, a keyboard, mouse, loads of other things. Yasmin put her makeup and stuff, and like the widescreen monitor sat in the middle and everything else was like spread out amongst everything else. It didn't work out well. Like, the table never broke. IKEA, you're good on that. Your stuff doesn't break with, you know, ease, but it did bend a lot, and that's why this time, even though it's a bit more expensive, I went for the kitchen countertop. It's what I've always wanted anyway, but in Singapore I knew I wasn't staying. That was the other thing. Why I went for the cheaper option, but here it's more permanent. So I was like, let's get the more rigid, durable, stronger kitchen countertop. So this thing is sick, and I'll just leave you to look at my desk. Thank you for watching the video. Peace out.